Alright, there's not a video on YouTube that shows, hey, Scott Baker here. Thanks for watching. If you view my channel and everything, I know I never show my face or anything. I'm usually behind it. You know, so here I am, and I'm at the farm. And so on the 2002 Superduty, I've got all kinds of gremlins going on. My windows will go up sometimes, they won't go up. Sometimes you got to click the button, the interior lights come on. And so that being said, my fuse panel was, I changed the GM out. I showed you that video. And now we're down to the fuse panel. And I took this top cover off. So, there's videos showing how this comes off. It goes like that, and then all your fuses and your relays go in here. And you just take a screwdriver and you pry all the way around, it comes off. Well, it has, those little tabs, but these studs right here are holding it. And the way it is, you can look at it and they've stamped that end on there. And I thought at first that just pried off, but it doesn't, if you can see that. So I'm going to attempt to take a 1/2-inch drill bit and drill these out. If I mess it up, it's not a big deal. Joel off 2020 Hot Shot Trucking LLC gave me a fuse panel. I put it in, so now my windows don't go down at all. My interior lights work, but there's other things that are giving me issues. And I'm not saying, hell, the GM may be wet again. My windshield's leaking. But y'all know on my truck, I got that visor on there. And when I put that visor on, I put it on so that it wouldn't come off ever, or blow off, or pull holes through the roof, or whatever. And I really don't want to have to go back and take it off, because it's going to leave some serious holes, and I'll have to have a MIG welded up, grind them off, all that stuff. So that being said, we're going to attempt to take this fuse panel apart and clean it. Nobody has a video on YouTube of showing actually how to take this thing apart, so we're going to attempt it, take lots of pictures of it, and hope that it works. And that bit's bent, or my chuck's bent, one or the other. Joel came up, and so today is Thursday. He came up, he had a load here in Ashland, and where I'm in Grayson at the farm, but he came to Ashland, and then I let him up where that campground is that I stay at. I just had him back in behind me. It's getting ready to close down at the end of the month, and I've got to move out. And so I've got a bad habit here. So anyways, he backed in, and he ran a cord over and hooked on my pole, and he spent the night. And we got pizza last night from a place here local called Giovanni's. We like it. It's really good pizza. And so anyways, we watched some YouTube videos and talked trucks and hot shotting. And my issue now, I just had a water pump issue. It took me 2 days to change. Shouldn't be that hard to do, but usually I buy Ford stuff or Napa. I bought a AutoZone, and it wouldn't seal up. It cost me $160 in coolant. I buy that Cat ELC coolant. So I put it all together, and the gasket that came with it was real thin and small. Slapped it together, filled it full of coolant, walked in the office to get warm, because it's in the high 20s or low 20s for the highs here. Today's a little bit warmer, it's in the 50s. But so I went in to get warm. The truck's running, the thermostat was waiting on it to kick open, and try to get the air out of the system. And something made me think to just go out and check it. I come out here, and there was coolant all over the floor. It dumped all that out. So it's basically taking $160 and just lighting it on fire and burning it up. It killed me. So I took it all back apart, and I know I said this fuse panel was our subject, but you know how I am. I'm scatterbrained all over the place. So the new thermostats, that was the issue. I got the thing I went to Ford and bought a Ford gasket kit and a AutoZone water pump. O'Reilly's in advance, I could not get to seal up. Went to AutoZone. Napa was closed, Ford was closed, and I used a factory Ford gasket kit, and it fixed it. Well, then the thermostat was an issue, and I lost the gasket from Ford. I I had misplaced it in here. You couldn't imagine why I did that, but here it is right here. Actually, this is not the Ford one. This is probably advanced or something. But on the Ford, it has a groove in the middle, and this sets, the thermostat goes in there, and it actually sits on the top and the bottom of the edge of the thermostat. The best design ever. People said use sealant and all that. I ended up buying a new thermostat housing because it was kind of corroded and all, and I thought that was the issue. I put silicone on it. I'd done this 3 different times before I finally went and bought cheap antifreeze and stuck in it because I kept losing so much of it. And so anyways, moral of the story is I used factory Ford gaskets, and everything worked out great. So anyways, so we're going to take this apart and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to drill the tops of these off. Well, I can tell you, that was a bad screw up on my part. I should have got off my ass, and now I messed the inside of this up in here. But like I said, I have a backup, so we can straighten that up and fix it. But you should always be standing up, or at least in a firm position doing this. It worked. So I took the head of that off. I can already see that it's going to work. Battery's going dead. But it's going to work. I can see it's already moved the head of that off. I'm going to grab another battery pack. Stay right there, Jax. Not sure if this will work or not. Put that one on charge. Put this on charge here. Sorry for a long video. I still am getting better at editing, but not. I've definitely downloaded and paid several different platforms, like trying to find out how to do video editing. I'm just not very good at it. So I think that I can fix what's down in here that I bent when I was sitting on my lazy ass and trying to drill that out. If not, like I said, I have that other fuse panel. We can at least take the parts off it and use on here, but I think this will work. I bent, if you look in there, I'll take a shop vac and suck all that out. I bent these 3 right here and this one here. That's for those plugs that go on. They have a really long bolt that screws in these. It's a 10 millimeter. I've showed a video on that when I changed the gem, because your gem mounts right here, but you have your wiring harness plugs that go here, and you'll just keep screwing, and it's so hard to get to. But I think this will work. Nobody shows how to actually do it. There may be a better way. I don't know. This is how I'm going to do it. And I may regret it. I may not. I don't know. We'll see. I have a backup, so we'll see what happens. I just now thought of something. That's where the plugs plug into. So I've screwed this up already. Damn. Yeah, I did. I definitely. That wasn't a good idea doing that. Shit. really fucked that up. So we'll just see what happens here. Let's take it apart and see what it looks like inside. Might be able to rob some parts out of this one. Put in the other one. You gotta be careful with copper plates and all kinds of stuff behind here. From what I've been watching on YouTube, there is a way they all lay in. Yeah, I still don't know. So I'd basically jack this up bad. Let's see if we can drive those out. Camera may fall, which is my phone. I've dropped it so many times, it's ridiculous. I don't think that's going to work. Because I think about it, it's still... I may be able to get those from Ford. Everything I've done to the inside is repairable except for these two studs. This will be what not to do when taking one of these apart. Let's make that the video. What not to do. And that's start drinking beer. I've been off for a couple days, not have to do anything, so it was my time to drink some beer. And we see what it's caused. I was going to put seed out today, fertilizer and seed with the tractor, and I got into this mess. Hey, buddy. Come this way. Come on. Come this way. Come this way. Come on. Come this way. Come on. So the boy can't see, so I have to guide him around. Come on. Come over here. Come over here. Right here. Lay down right here. Lay down. Lay down. Don't drink the antifreeze. Lay down right there. Lay down there. I'm going to watch you. You lay down there. Alright, let's see. We're going to prop this up on something. Because it's going to hit the bottom of the studs. So put this tape measure there. There, that worked. That's how you get them out. But you do have to drill the heads of them off. I might be able to get those from Ford, I don't know. I doubt it. And the bolt may still be long enough to, if I cut that off smooth, because I just now got to the threads. I don't know, we'll see. We'll worry about that later. Like I said, we got a backup on the ones in the truck. May just have to order one. Right down there, Jax. You're alright. Dad's right here. I'm kind of like a bull in a china shop when it comes to being around stuff that's valuable, like not valuable, but small and tedious. I have a tendency of not thinking things through and not being gentle and smooth. I'm used to slinging sledgehammers and pry bars, prying on stuff, and I don't want that to get in their feet. I can already tell that I've got something wrong over here. I got plates bent. This is why nobody showed a video how to do this. There's something holding it. I'm not quite sure what it is. That's for the other thing. Oh my God. This one will never work again, I can tell you that right now. It is corroded though. Ow, that hurt. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see what's wrong. So this one plate has to come. Man, they didn't show how to take this apart. I didn't find a video on there anyways. And I looked through a lot of them. You can see the corrosion in there. See that? That's the corrosion. And so what happens is the water bleeds over and it makes the terminals stick, which makes your switches act crazy. If that makes sense. I don't know what's holding it really. Oh, I know what it is. It's these ones that are bent over. That's what it is. The ones I hit with the drill bit. Jax, buddy, your belly is tore up. You stink, dude. You can fart now, let me tell you. You still would think that this would come apart. I ruined this. I mean, it was already ruined. I'll just have to buy one probably that fits the truck. If I can't get these pieces out, that's the most valuable part to me right now. Those cows think I'm feeding them when I break fed last night. I had that bull, he kind of charged me. So I put the tractor between me and him. Yeah, this is definitely a video of not what to do, what not to do. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for, or phrase. The battery just tears apart. I don't know why it won't come apart. I just wanted to show you what it looks like in here. Well, actually, I wanted to see what it looks like too. There we go. So if you don't bend these little fingers in here, the little tabs for the plugs to hook on, this slides right apart. But where I hit it with the drill bit a while ago, which pretty much set its destiny of not coming apart. So here's what it looks like on the inside. And so your electric travels around all these, and it goes to the certain pins when they're being used. And so, like this fella here, he sits there like this. Anyways, if you can see that, back here's your corrosion. And I'll show you what's causing this if I can get this the rest of the ways apart. So, basically, because all I'm after now at this point is these fingers, these little guys right here who are trying to come out. I took a picture of it. And they're falling out now. There they are. So these will slide down in and they lock onto those fingers. Then your relays plug into this. One side goes to those little flat bars. There's a guy on YouTube that shows how to get these out so that you can add them, because apparently it's already plumbed in the back of it for the, all the pins. And then it just, the options like, an excursion or whatever. And he shows, I cut my finger. He shows sticking a screwdriver in there and twisting, but it doesn't show an up close picture of it. He somehow sticks a little screwdriver in there, twists it, and it pulls. I couldn't figure it out. So that's what led me to this mess. And there's no screws in here. It's just, I don't know. But it's coming apart really easy now. I'll just fill it all in. Fill it full of fuses. Surely to God something will work. I don't know. I got a mess now, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know how he got them out. He made it look really simple. But even grabbing them with a pair of needle nose, they don't want to come out. Jax, buddy, your gas stinks bad. Like I said, I'm only after these little metal things at this point. It's all corroded in here. It's full of corrosion down in here. I don't know if I can get the rest of the way apart. I mean, I can. Is it worth it? Just to show you all? Yeah, probably. And myself. Let's just take this thing apart. Let me get this out of your way so you can see what I'm doing. These things are what I'm after. I'm sure that's something you can't just go buy it forward. Alright, so the corrosion. Oh, here we go. So, if you can see how down in this corner right here, how it's all corroded? And that actually is so bad that there's no way water, electric can pass around that without shorting out. And that's what causes your intermittent windows rolling up or down, or if they won't roll. Like I found out on mine, I could hit the up and down the master, my driver's side window, push it up, the lights in the truck would come on, then push it down, the lights would come on in the truck. It was crazy. People probably thought, what in the world, when I was driving down the road or at a red light or whatever. And what was happening was I had to do that, and then I could push one of the other buttons, and you could hear the relay kicking in and out, and then I could roll my windows up or down. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. But like right now, they won't go up or down at all, and that's because, I think it's because the difference in these fuse panels, what's got relays and what don't have relays. So I'm just pulling this out of here now. All that was clean, but see, they're all falling out now. That's good. That's what we want. So we can make this work. And I'll show you, I'll go over there and I'll show you. We just do it in the truck. We don't have to take it apart again, take it out, because it is kind of a pain in the ass to take out. So if you're, in my opinion, if you have a leaking windshield and you don't want to have your windshield taken out or whatever, you could probably, you see where it's getting wet out on this one, you could probably somehow put a deflector under there, some kind of like piece of plastic or something, or metal, like a piece of flashing. That's what I'm gonna do to that one. You know, until I just don't want to pull that visor off there. So let's take this apart. Maybe. We don't want to damage these little fellers in here. Right here, yeah. So can you see in there? See all that corrosion? Look at how bad that is. So it's causing the electric, being an electrician, it's bleeding over and shorting out. So you're not going to get, you're going to get all kinds of crazy codes, like on an ECU or your ECM, when you put a scanner on there. It'll bring up multiple codes, and you know, more than likely, just like a 6.0, if you got a bunch of codes coming out, I found out that it was usually the FICM was bad, or the plug, the wiring harness, because you know, you go and start replacing what it's throwing a code, and then you'll have more codes, or you may still have that same code, or it may go away. That's your FICM or your wiring harness. In this case, this thing, we all know that these windshields leak, and so this gets wet, and you can see the corrosion in here, how it's, so it causes a bridge between two of these, or 3 or 4 or whatever, the pins, and then you've got multiple stuff coming up on your scanner, or multiple things in your truck not working. And before I change my fan out on my truck, the blower motor, we're going to do some checking into that, because it was working just fine, and then all of a sudden it started acting crazy, and working, not working. And it may still be the fan, or the what's that thing called? It's like a rectifier or whatever, but that thing, it may be that burn up. You know, it's got a lot of miles on the body itself. So that may be causing a problem, but I wanted to go after this FICM. I knew this was an issue anyways on my, or not FICM, but fuse panel. And you can see all that oh, we gotta get this apart. You gotta see this. Let me get this out of here. There we go. So now you look in there, yeah, see how bad that is? And it's all on the end. There they go. They're all falling out now, which is good. So that's causing most of my problems, is right there. So if you could waterproof this end of your fuse panel, which is the part that faces down and bolts into your, it sits in the truck like this. And these are your 2 bolts on your dash that mounts it, and then you have one up here that mounts it. So then your gem goes on the back side. If you could waterproof this lower part with either dielectric grease or whatever, that would save you some time, and maybe even a future issue of this. Even with a new windshield, I heard sometimes they'll leak. But yeah, that's the issue of where it's getting wet on this one. I'd say most of them get wet in the same spot. You know, nobody has a video showing somebody just absolutely destroying one of these fuse panels, taking it apart, but let alone showing what gets wet, or, you know, whatever. So let's just pull it on apart. Oh yeah, so look at this. So all the top of this is wet, which is causing it to short out, not get power to whatever pin you need. You know what I'm talking about. I've repeated it several times. But yeah, that's my video. We took it, destroyed this fuse panel, and I know I'm going to have people making comments about it, but at least you know how it's made and put together. And I would say if you do it right and take it apart, take lots of pictures of how all these plates go in, because if you don't, you'll never get them back in there right. Some of them have a groove for them to set in, but you see how many there is here. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that on video. Hang on. But, so, let me just show you how many's in there. Let me see if you can see that on the camera. Yeah, you can see how many's there. You see how many that is. There's no way you could get them without pictures. That's a big job to do. I'm sure you'd have to do it with more finesse and take your time and all. But the main thing I was after was these guys, so I can add my relays and fuses for what I need. So that's all of it. That's it. Completely apart. There's one left in there, two left in there. We'll get them out. I'll dig them out or something. We gotta have those. Yeah, there we go. But that was Thursday's tip of showing you what's going on here, and maybe help you decide you want to take this on or just buy another one, you know. Man, that little feller's hard to get out of there. That's all right. We'll get him with the needle nose. Here you go. You don't stand a chance now. Ah, there we go. So there you go. And that's the number on this one. And the number on the new one's totally different. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. I'll grab some of them. They're made different. So the relays, let's see. So the relays are wide and fat, like these. So what you do is, hang on, I'll show you. Not good in there, Jack. There's hot dogs. So here's a relay that didn't get added. Stay right there, buddy. You're okay. So what happens is this slides on there, and then, you know, let's see. Are they both made the same? Yeah, they're both made the same. So what we're going to do is put them in there. I took a picture of this before I took it apart, and the one in the truck. So I'll know what relays and what holes to fill in and all that stuff. So that being said, let's go over here. There's that stuff up close. Some of these are for fuses. They're smaller. The ones for the fuses. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to do this on video without looking at one of my pictures. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's go over here. Let's grab some needle nose. All right, Jack, you can come outside. That's antifreeze still drying. All right, so under here, you can see where the relays are missing. Now, when you try to plug this in, because there's no pins in it, let's see, let me get it lined up here. Yeah. There's nothing holding it in. See, it just wants to fall in and out. There's no metal inside there. So supposedly, we take this cover off the outside of this, and I'll pause it. Let's do that. All right, so I took that cover off, pulled all the fuses out, took a picture of it, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this in with these pins, and I hope they fit. We may just figured out something. Yeah, they fit, but they only go one way, I think. Yep, so they'll fit right in like that. Like that. So we just keep doing that, and Yeah, it has a little notch that keeps it from sliding in too far, I think. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm trying to put it in wrong. All right. So it goes like, they can only go one way. Sorry. It's hard to hold the camera and do this. All right. Okay, so I found out something. So the ones with the, you got to find, there's a little ear spot. If you see that little notch right there. So all these are only made for, like, you're going to have to find the pin that goes in it and then slide it in. So it's going to be a job. Let me pause it and I'll come back and we'll see what it does.